don't know don't know how this works. It's just me and the guest, just having a conversation. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions later on down the road, but it's really designed for me to do a deep dive into the guest and into the person that we have online during the power hour. So super awesome. And let me kind of give you a little bit of background of this young lady. She has been a business owner herself. They own a restaurant deli. Um, she comes from the corporate world, and you know, I have that in sequential uh, order is off. So first, she came from the corporate world, and that didn't work out for her for whatever. She'll get into that, and then she owned a deli business and then ended up selling it and then came here into this business and just has now do this completely full time. She's halfway to double platinum. She's more than halfway. I mean, she's just about on her way to become a one star. She's officially made as a hybrid travel booker, 500,000 in travel booking. So she's the do it all. She's the all around. So it's awesome to see the success that she's having, and you'll get to know her today. So, without further ado, online we have Jessica Coco. Jessica, are you there?
I am here. Hello, everybody. How are you? Hey, guys. I see y'all in the chat. Hey, how are we doing, Charles?
Good, good. How are you? What's new? What's going on? So
Doing it.
tell everybody here a little bit about yourself. How did
Uh,
you you know, Did I get, did I make sure that I got your history the right way? I want to make sure that, and that really like brings me to attention, like what corporate world are you actually coming from? What happened there? Why did you end up leaving it? And then you made a bold move into, owning a deli. And I know a restaurant is never an easy business. So maybe we can start exploring that, why that didn't pan out, and eventually how you discovered evolution in Archer Travel and how that has got you here to a full-time basis.
well, we're about to go for a wild ride then, if we want to
Let's
start from the
go.
beginning.
I'm ready. Yeah, we want to know because a lot of times we don't know who resonates with people's story, right? And
Yeah.
so, like, I love getting to know the people, and this gives me an opportunity and allows me to get to know you as a person, the decisions that you made, and how you came about here. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I graduated high school. I went right into the car business when I was 18, y'all. It was started, essentially just as a receptionist, but worked my way up. And within I would say about 5 years or so. I was in my early 20s and I was making about $175,000 a year. I
In
was
car
making,
sales?
yes,
In the
yeah.
car
Well,
business?
I was a business development manager, which was essentially the car sales on the computer, and then I moved into the finance manager role, which was essentially getting people approved for loans and that kind of thing.
Right.
So making great money. That's when I met the other half on the other side of the wall, Henry. And we were making great money together. Of course, in the business, they don't like when people are dating within, so we were under wraps for quite a bit of time. And it just got to the point where we didn't want to be. So we were like, all right, well, let's do something else. And let's be clear, y'all, the car business hours, I was commuting about an hour and a half in the morning to work with traffic in New York City traffic. I grew up about an hour outside New York City. That's where I came from. But an hour and a half to work. I would get to work around 8 a.m. and I'd leave work probably around 8 or so p.m. to have a half hour, 45 commute home. So the days were long. I mean, the money was there, but the days were long. So like I said, when
So
Henry and I
what time would you start and what time would you end your shift?
Oh, so I would wake up, start my day at 6 a.m., leave the house by 7, get to work for 8, 8:30, and clock out of work at 8 for the 45-minute drive home. So I was working a minimum of 10 hours a day,
Right.
minimum.
Yep. 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 So
And
50 plus hours a week.
yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. The money was great. Don't get me wrong, guys. And at that time, I was in my early 20s, single, living life. I had two cars for fun. I had nothing else to spend You couldn't take time off of work.
Sure.
Like, as much as I love to travel, there was no, like, my days off were Thursdays and Sundays. To request a Saturday off that was like outrageous. You had to do that like 3 years in advance. So, um, the car business again, great money, but just you had to hustle, right? And so Henry and I discussed, we were like, well, he had brought me up to New Hampshire for the first time because that's where he used to take family vacations. His mom has a house there. And so he took me up there and I was like, what do we got to do to move here? It's beautiful. Like I had never been there. The town had 1,500 people in it. Like again, growing up right outside the city,
How
it's
old are you at this time? 20,
30, 34.
34 in the car sales.
Oh, at this time I was 27. 27?
27 in car sales, but you discovered New Hampshire, you said,
Yes.
at 34. So from
No,
27.
no. At 27. At 27, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, still at 27. So discovered New Hampshire and Henry and we decided, okay, well, let's move here. Let's quit our jobs and move here. Let's find something to do here. Henry was like, well, I don't want to be in the car business anymore. I want to work for ourselves.
Really? Even
Yep.
though you guys were making a buck 70
Each.
uh, each a year, that's 340.
Mhm.
Is that right? Between both of you, and you guys wanted to start
Yep.
different?
The hours, it was the hours, man. Like, what's the point of having all this money if you have no time to enjoy it?
Hmm.
That's where I come down. Like, I can have all the money. I don't have any kids. I'm not planning on having any kids. Like, where's my money gonna go? Like Henry used to close our car deals. He used to say, "There's not an armored car following your hearse," right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you got to spend it. So
So
we're
you're
like, okay,
making all this money, but you guys were unhappy
right, exactly.
because
Unhappy with the
you're
lifestyle.
basically locked in an office, wheeling and dealing with customers, and you're doing that 10 hours a day. Didn't you get like vacation time?
So in the car business, you're mainly commission as well. You get a base salary. My base salary was 500 bucks a week. So that's not what you're living off of. So
Right.
when you take vacation, you obviously you're not going to earn much commission. You're not going to earn any commission while you're gone, but
But you
you'll get
wait.
your $500 base pay.
All right, I get that. But what, like, you didn't have any, like, did you guys not have enough making like 340 a year? I would imagine have some money on the side for you guys to vacation, even with a $500 base pay or
Oh
whatever
yeah.
it was. Okay.
Yeah, it was a matter of getting the time off of work. I mean, we were allotted 2 weeks a year,
Uh-huh.
um, I think to start. And like I said, to request another day, like it was an arm and a leg. It was crazy. And never mind, we were both managers, so never mind ever trying to request time together. And at the time,
Oh, that's even worse that you guys
right.
can't do it together.
Right. And again,
Yeah.
we're not supposed to be dating, right? It technically wasn't against the rules in the handbook, but that was a whole nother story. But
Right.
so what really started moving it quickly was we were probably in like December at this point, and in June, Henry had a cruise planned to Alaska. And I was like, I'll be damned if I miss that. Like, like he already had the time off of work, but for me to request the same days, it would have been pretty fishy. You know what I mean? So we decided we want to move. We want to move to New Hampshire. So we started going on businessesforsale.com
All
and
right. So at this point, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. I just want to follow you in this journey here.
yes.
You decided we're going to leave the car business. We're making money, but we're burnt out. We're always constantly working. And you discovered New Hampshire and seeing New Hampshire like beautiful, let's move here
Yep.
and let's put our money to work and look for businesses for sale. Am I am,
Yep.
am I following you so far? Is that where we're at?
100%.
Okay.
Right on track. At first we were looking at like gas stations or a laundromat. Henry really wanted a car wash. And then this deli popped up for sale that just so happened to be a mile and a half from his mom's house. Like, what
So
were
there
the
was a
odds?
convenience factor to it.
Right, exactly. And if we were going to move up here, we didn't want to buy a house right off the bat, so we were going to move in with mom for a little bit, just to get our bearings straight and figure out where we wanted to be, that kind of thing. So it worked out perfect. My 1.5 hour commute went down to 7 minutes overnight. It was crazy.
Okay.
So, but the deli was awesome. We found it at a good price. It needed a lot of work. And we bought that. We closed on the deli. So time frame wise, we're in May of 2019.
Okay.
So we closed on the deli. We have our first summer at the deli. It was insane. We had no idea what to expect, but we rocked it. We made buku dollars,
Yeah.
and COVID hit. Then comes COVID hit.
So
And
you buy the business in May, just about half the year of 2019 getting started. Hey, things are on the up and up.
yes,
COVID was when the world officially shut down was I think March, right? Or
yes,
late February, early March. Okay.
yep.
All right. March
And
hit
now, and
2020.
now in New Hampshire, you got to keep in mind our busy seasons, right? So our busy seasons, we were right in a touristy area on the lake. So summer's our busy season. Then we have a little dip, and then we have a peak for leaf peeper season, we call it. Then we have a little dip, and then it goes back up when it's ski time because we were right by a ski mountain as well. So
Mm,
that's how the deli seasons kind of went, right? So come COVID, we were already in our down season, and we were like, oh crap, what's going to happen here? Like everybody else, nobody knew what was going to happen. Um, and it turned out to be the best thing for our business because we were a deli, we were primarily takeout. So
yeah,
everybody stopped eating out and they started coming to us. And we
yeah,
did take and bake trays. Henry went to culinary school. He loves to cook. I
yeah,
am not one for the kitchen. Give me a bowl of cereal. I'm good to go. But did these take and bake trays like lasagnas and chicken parm, chicken piccata, and people just came in, took the frozen trays. They bought six to 10 of them at a time, and that
yeah,
was their, meals. So
sure.
we, COVID was awesome. We
Yeah,
skyrocketed
yeah.
during COVID.
Okay.
But
Because it's killing it.
that's when the deli became full staffed and we started seeing like, oh wow, look at this extra time we have now that we have people running the deli and we don't have to be there, right? We did a lot of improvements to the deli. I hated it. I absolutely hated that deli
Really?
so much.
Okay.
Um, it was bringing in great money, but it was just not my thing. Like food service industry, the only thing I'm good at eating food, y'all. I'm not good at that. It's just not my thing,
So wait, so what was your role? You
So
were
I was
you were
admin.
running.
I stood behind the cash register. I took people's money and I did like I kind of I sat at the computer when I was there. I ordered all the food, I did the inventory, we did a couple renovations, so I handled those, like a couple projects. But, I made sandwiches on the busy days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, to help with
But
that, right?
but it was just that type of responsibility for that type of business. It was taking a toll on me because it was kind of like, so perfect example, one of our cruises we went on, it was in the middle of January and the temperature dropped to negative 43 degrees and we had a pipe burst. So my manager at the deli sends me this video of just a waterfall like happening from my ceiling and I'm in the middle of the ocean. In the middle of like what am I going to do, So like the type of responsibility that comes with like a brick and mortar business like that, whoo, like it was gave you a lot of anxiety like when you weren't there. You know what I mean? It's like having a kid. You always have to think about it. That's your thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I hated that deli. But again, it was great for us. It, gave us the lifestyle we were looking for in terms of more freedom and that type of thing. But again, I didn't want all the responsibility we had with it. It was a lot of
So
responsibility.
when did you realize?
So I realized that, so let me back up. So by May of 2022, we're on the up and up. Deli's going great. Deli's fully staffed. I'm literally working about 2 hours a week at this point. So Henry was working 8 hours a week. So we're barely there. We don't need to be. It's running well.
Hmm?
And we're bored. We're like, well, we gotta go on a cruise. We gotta go do something, right?
So you
And
guys put yourself in a position where you don't have to work so hard.
right, right.
Okay.
But
Seems like
again, it
life is
was
good at this point.
life was good. Yeah, life is great.
All
And
right.
that's when I went on LinkedIn and I was looking at travel deals. I was looking at ways I could get into the travel industry with to get perks, to get discounted cruises in particular.
Okay.
Um, and that's when I came across the amazing Lisa Berlinski's post. And I replied and I sat in on Amy Cabrera's meeting and I signed up on the spot.
Yeah.
I saw the Royal Caribbean example and I was just like, woo! I was like, $500 commission, I'm in. I was just like, let's go. And I signed up on the spot. In our first 10 months, we took 9 cruises. I did exactly what I wanted to do with this business.
So for you, it wasn't about financial gain. From what
Not
I'm hearing, it was really more about lifestyle gain.
hmm
Like I'm doing fine financially. Actually, we're doing fine financially, but I'm bored. Like
Yeah.
I want to live life. And so what compelled you to go look at LinkedIn for travel?
Well, not for travel. I wanted to get into the travel industry.
Oh, okay.
I knew like because I wanted the perks,
Uh,
but I didn't want something where like I had to book X amount of trips a month
so
or be
already in your mind you're like I want to be inside the travel industry
yes. And I actually
some
had
kind of
no idea.
way because
And I
I
had I'm sorry. I had no idea that travel was even a network marketing type of industry. I
mm,
had no idea at that time when I found the opportunity. And
right?
when I sat in on the meeting and
Uh,
it got to the point of the profit pool and I sat back and I'm like, oh. And then Amy, like I said, she was the one presenting. She was just like, but it's completely optional. And I was like, oh, okay. I was just like, if I don't got to do it, then I don't got to do it. I'm good. I'm in. That's no problem.
sure,
Right.
sure.
So like I said, got in, took 9 cruises our first 10 months. You wouldn't have even known I was here. Like I did not participate in the chats. I booked some travel for like my mom cruises a lot too,
Mhm.
and her friends and that kind of thing. But I didn't do anything with the business. It was just for my perks. I got
Of
my
course.
certifications with the cruise lines, and that was it.
All right. So you're totally enjoying the perks along the way. So 9 cruises later, how do you discover the business and want to pursue that?
People started reaching out to me to book trips.
Okay.
People were started reaching out to me to book trips, and they started reaching out to me to be like, "How the hell are you doing that? I want to take 9 cruises a year too."
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, was not about team building, did not want that side of the business.
Uh,
And
so was it like you were posting and then you were on social media showing, hey, look, like this
yeah,
is where I'm going next. This is what
yep,
I'm doing now.
yep.
Never,
Just innocent posting on my regular Facebook page. Hey, checking in from another cruise, whatever, you know.
sure.
But they started reaching out and I was like, oh, I don't want to build, I don't want to build. And then I realized how many bookings that I was doing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and then I looked at Henry and I was like, I think I can make this a full-time thing. Like, can we get rid
Mm.
of the deli if I can make this a full-time thing? Like, I just wanted out of the deli. I hated that deli so much.
Even though you were working 2 hours a week, you
Yeah, but still, even 2 hours, it was the responsibility behind the scenes. I might have been at home, but I was getting constant texts. Oh, the register's not working, or this customer this, or this person found this, or bad review that, or just the other behind the scenes crap that comes with a business. You know what I mean? Not necessarily physically being there, but behind the scenes more so,
right,
you know? And let me tell you, employees, y'all, is those are a whole nother headache. Like having to manage people and oh, it's it's a whole nother world. Managing schedules and managing this and that and other things and oh, I can't come in. There was this one afternoon Henry was working with this other employee and she drops everything and runs out the door. I gotta go. My horses are running out on the highway. We're like, what? Like, that's the kind of crap like we were dealing with. You know what I mean? It was like just crazy stuff.
yeah,
So when I started booking, I was just like, oh, we're making a lot of money.
uh,
So then he was like, yeah, if we could get to, X amount of dollars a month, let's do it.
yeah.
So I went on LinkedIn and I posted a job ad that day. I said, let's go, because I had known at that point what the, I didn't know at that point how to build,
Mhm.
but I knew and I saw this in the chats we post, the monthly residual incomes. And I saw that those posts every month. So
Mhm.
I saw what builders were making. And
Yeah.
even though I didn't want to build, I was like, but I want that paycheck. I was like, people are already reaching out to me. Let me just do this damn thing real quick. So I posted my first job, and at that time it was also like Jazz HR. But in my first week, I hit silver, and I was like, oh. And that's when Christina Bertels called me for the first time.
Hmm.
And that's when I talked to Christina Bertels and Ashley Hawaiian, and that's when you know I started. Oh, this girl's been booking all these trips, and oh my gosh, now she just hit silver in a week, and that's when I got my FOMO going on, and I was like, well, I got to be one of them.
So then you started noticing like familiar faces and then characters of who's inside this business, like Christina Bertels and Ashley Halliwell. And then
Hmm.
I presume, like most of the successful people here in this business, that you develop some relationships with, a lot of these figures. In
Yeah, I mean, Christina, Ashley, Amy, Tommy. I mean, and then, I know I'm fast forwarding a little bit. When we got on the road, we went from like Nashville to meet up with everybody. We went over to Tommy's house, and then we went over to Christina's house, and then up to Ashley's house, and then over to, Amy's. So, like, that's the kind of cool part too, being able to kind of just figure out our route.
all while you're still running the deli.
Right. So yes, let's rewind back. So start building. At that point, I kind of put Henry in charge of all things deli. Right. So this way, I could just
You
focus on deli.
bounced. You're like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm gonna do this travel thing. I don't want to do the restaurant thing anymore. So Henry, you do the restaurant. I'll
Yes.
do this instead.
Yes.
How
I
did
was
how
like,
do you feel about that? Considering like you were his partner in crime, running a deli. Like, well, shoot, I my partner here, my trusted partner, because you guys are running a business. It's a lot for one person to run a business because obviously you need to be around people you trust,
yeah.
especially with money, administration, all the things that you're talking about. So that must have been a little bit challenging for him, wasn't it? Like when
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely challenging for him. I still did a lot behind scenes at home, like the bare minimum I had to, like Henry couldn't put a schedule together or do payroll or that kind of thing. Like, so I still handled that kind of stuff. But Henry actually dabbled into his own little business in the meantime. He had purchased a couple ATMs, and put them in a couple spots. Those were generating, I mean, our good ones,
I
2,500
love
bucks
that.
a month.
Yeah, I love that entrepreneurship mind. So Henry bought a few ATM machines
Yep.
and
Yep.
started
That was fun.
cashing in on the surcharges.
Yep. Hey,
Let's
listen,
go.
those things make a lot of money, and if
They
they're in the
do.
right spot.
Oh, heck yeah, they do. Yeah. Or even like credit card terminal machines. Like if you
Yes.
can hustle a lot of credit card terminals, for businesses, every transaction you're going to get a little bit of percentage of, every transaction that takes place. I think it ranges anywhere from 1 to 2%. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It adds up quick every swipe.
Yeah, so how amazing and how cool is that? All right,
Uh,
so then tell me about how fully transitioned into
so
like doing that, loving the travel, did night trips, meeting the characters inside this business like Christina Bertels, Amy Cabrera, and like, getting to know them and where does this like take place? Like, all right, I'm just gonna want to do this.
June, or yeah, the end of June. What year are we in? 25, 24. So June of 2023, I attended my first convention.
Okay.
I had hit gold
Uh-huh.
a week after cutoff or
All
so
right. All
because
right.
I was on an Alaska cruise, and Christina Bertels told me not to go on it because you're not going to make it by cutoff, and she was 100% right, but I don't care because I was going on an Alaskan cruise.
Right. Right.
So I sat at my first convention as a gold, but I couldn't get recognized as the gold till next year.
Oh,
So
bummer.
that was definitely tough, for those
Yeah.
Matthew sat through it as well.
That's like
I know
literally
this,
waiting 2 years to make.
yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It's definitely a tough one. But that kicked my butt and I got FOMO hardcore. Like I was like, I want to be at that platinum table next year, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing gonna stop me. And then we had the party. David had rented the founder had rented the house that I think it was like an Airbnb for that party that year,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. What
he
year
had
was
walked.
this? 2022 or 23?
This was 23, June of
Okay.
23.
All right.
And founder had walked me out because I had my flight was leaving that night of the party. So I had brought all my bags and everything with me. And founder was walking me out. And he said to me, he's like, Coco, if you make this happen, you're going to be moving to Vegas. You got to pick your license plate. And he started pointing out everybody's, vanity plate. And I was just like, I got J Coco in Connecticut already, baby. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so like I literally left on that airplane, and when we were taking, I was crying. I was crying because I didn't want to leave. Like it had hit me so much that week of how much I want this.
Mm.
Like so much.
What
Like
was it? What was it like? I guess like this now like shifts my focus into convention and how amazing a convention can be for somebody.
yeah.
What the
It literally
experience.
changed my life. You can ask Henry, like he tells me I came home a completely different person. Like I
Oh,
came
Henry
home.
wasn't with you for that.
No, my first convention I went alone. I went alone. Nobody knew Henry yet.
Okay.
Henry, they only knew Henry because I had just hit my double gold.
Yeah.
So that's how they knew Henry's name. But no, I was by myself my first convention, and he said I came home another person, and I got into that office and I did not stop. When I hit platinum, I had 252 people direct to me. Um I wasn't waiting for people to
You went
build.
bananas.
Yeah, like there was no stopping. Like I was hitting that. Amy Cabrera had also told founder, that I was going to be the next platinum. So that, reigned with me. Like I didn't want to fall short on that.
Uh,
Like there was a lot. My other fuel always has been, of course, is my mother. She always thinks I'm a crazy nut, anything I do. I told her I was quitting, my $175,000 a year job. She thought I was nuts and buying a deli. I was selling the deli and selling the house and buying RV. She thought I was nuts, like that's the fuel. That what fuels me. You tell me I can't do something, I want to do it.
so your
So
mom was a catalyst.
yes. Still is to this day. She tells
She's
me I'm
like,
crazy all
you're
the time,
crazy. Don't do it.
but
I love that you went against the grain and you did like what you wanted to do anyway. A lot of
yeah.
people have a hard time with that, right? Because a lot of times we rely a lot on the people that are closest to us. And we want to hear their opinions. We want to hear those thoughts. And sometimes it cuts really deep, in my opinion, when the people closest to you don't support the cause. And sometimes it just sounds crazy, right? Like in your case, it does sound a little bit crazy and big risk, big reward, and it almost sounds way too risky. Why would you let go of something that you average out such a good income for you to let that go, what seemingly is very safe, but in your heart and soul you weren't happy, so you were ready to move on to something else, unsure what you want to do at that point. But hey, anything different is better than what I'm doing
Yeah.
with this. And once you discover New Hampshire, then you jump into a whole different arena, industry in making food and sandwiches and purchasing deli meat to inventory, and all that comes with owning a restaurant, hiring staff. Now you're wearing a different hat. And then obviously you didn't know if that was going to be the it thing either, but you were willing to try anything different to tickle that lizard brain to satisfaction in some type of
I think
capacity.
that's what makes me, I think what drives my mom crazy is I'm just such a free bird.
Mm,
Change does not scare me.
yeah.
Like I can embrace change, and I think it was also, in my later 20s I had lost some people, deaths and things of that nature, and I'm like life is just so short. It's always been my dream to travel the country in an RV. Like since I've been a kid, I've always wanted to do something like that, right? So when I pitched it to Henry. Now, let me preface this. Before Henry met me, he had never camped a day in his life. So I've been camping since diapers. So when I pitched to him, let's sell this beautiful house that we just built, because we built our own house in New Hampshire. We,
Okay.
we we designed it. That was our house, right?
Uh,
When I pitched to him, let's sell this house and buy an RV and travel the country, he would Henry is just like that. Like he's spontaneous, like let's try something.
well, he's like you then.
Cracking.
Like,
Right.
all right. So he was down with it.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
like,
okay, let's
all
do it.
right. Right.
That's huge. That's crazy.
Right. I mean, just as crazy. And we were just like, yeah, let's do it. So when when all this is happening, I'm going through the ranks. I don't remember exactly if I'm at triple gold or not at this point. Um, but when we're going through, we got an offer on the deli. We had listed the deli, and I forgot how many months later. It was only a couple months. And now I didn't get a real estate agent. I literally went from on the same website I bought the deli from, and I listed the deli myself. Like I took all the paperwork, all the listing stuff that I had from the original, and I just updated it. Like I didn't want to pay for a real estate agent. I didn't know if anybody was going to be interested in this thing, whatever. And within 6 months, we got a bite, and we were like, "Oh crap!" And it kept going. It kept like, and we were like, "Oh, this is really happening." So I said to him, I was like, "We gonna put the house up for sale too? Like, what are we doing here?" Like, so he's like, "Yeah." So we put up the house for sale. We did the whole thing. We closed on the deli, and as soon as we closed on the deli, we put the house up for sale. So we
Okay.
closed on the deli in June of 24, 23.
Hmm.
Yes, June of 2023. And
Okay.
we hit the road August 23rd,
And then,
2023.
did you buy the RV and then sold? I mean, I would imagine the house is completely furnished and
Yeah.
all that noise. And
Yep.
now you are literally downsizing in so many ways because you're choosing now effectively a RV life.
Yes. Yeah, we had I think our house was like 1,500 square feet or so, maybe
Okay.
1,200, somewhere in that range. Yeah, Henry's probably going to yell at 17. Sorry, he just shouted from the other side.
Yeah.
1,700 square feet. And again, Henry had never camped before. Like he had camped a couple times with me and my parents since he met me, but um, we weren't sure if we were going to enjoy the RV life. So
Mm.
when we first got into it, we were like, we're gonna find something around like the 40, $50,000 range for this RV. Like we don't want to go crazy, even though the ones we wanted were like multi-million-dollar ones, of course. But so we found one that we liked. We drove out to Michigan and we picked it up and we brought it back to the house in New Hampshire, parked it for about, I think it was about a week and a half, filled it up with everything we were keeping, and then just did an estate sale for everything else in the house. We sold everything, the carpets, the couches, the silverware, everything that we didn't keep.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was the craziest weekend, I think, of my life. Like it was just amazing. People just coming.
Everything must
Really,
go.
yeah,
Everything
literally.
must go.
Yep. And everything did. I think we only had one small trailer of stuff that we actually had to get rid of.
Uh,
But it was crazy. It was definitely crazy.
so then you guys hit the road.
We hit the road.
You
August
just
23rd, 2023. We woke up. We actually had slept in the camper in the driveway the night before we left because we sold our bed. Our bed was the last thing to go the day before. So we slept in the camper. We woke up. We into our empty house. We showered the last time and we left. I was crying, of course. Like it was so emotional. Like, so of course I want to do it, but it's like I built this house. This is my dream house, and so everything was just emotional, but it was so exciting at the same time.
yeah, and that's a huge change out of all changes because now you're basically living mobily.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience, like, because, I love to travel, but that takes it to a whole nother level, right? You're in a, actually, I did that with Nikki one time. We went to a John Mayer concert and it was in California. So she wanted to rent an RV. We're like, all right. The thing was a freaking dinosaur. I swear it had to be the size of a bus. I don't drive vehicles this big, and I'm not about to put Nicole into this huge monster. So, and let me say it was, I don't know what year it was, but it was an older RV, so it doesn't have all the cool bells and whistles like the cameras on the reverse, right? Like you don't get all those extra cameras now you get nowadays with the new vehicles. So you can imagine like how what a nervous wreck I was. So the only thing that I had in mind was when I moved one time in a big, large U-Haul. I made a turn too early, and then I ended up like crunching, the top of like an overhead of a building or whatever, and then I damaged the U-Haul. And I just remember like, okay, remember that this is a longer vehicle, so your turns have to be super delayed so you can make clearance. And that's just pretty much how I navigated it. And of course, everything was like 5 minutes early of like signaling before I do a turn because I'm just a wreck. And then here comes Nikki. She says, "All right, I'm ready to drive. I want to do this thing." Okay, so we're stopped at a gas station getting gas into this thing. She gets behind the wheel. Okay, let's do it. She may have just drove like 3 feet before deciding to turn, rams the side of the all we hear is we're like, no, what? Stop, 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 stop. Open the door. I walk around this. You see this dent right here on the side of the RV. She basically turned too early, and then one of the cement guardrails or whatever to prevent. Yeah, she. So you can have.
It prevented, all right.
Yeah, and then I had to like. Yeah, yeah. And this was a rental. I had to call a mechanic somewhere, a body shop guy. Luckily, we were able to find one. He was able to. We gave it to him like, dude, this just needs to get fixed, please, or whatever. Uh, he charges $800 to fix the whole dent, but whatever.
That's not bad. Could
Yeah.
have been worse.
No, it could have been a lot worse. We did enjoy a weekend watching John Mayer, and we took the family, did the whole bit. So it was really cool to say the least. But now, like now, that's my only experience, right?
So
With an
based off of
RV.
that, you wouldn't live in one.
Right. So here you are. Like I couldn't even get past the whole like septic part and everything. Like
Oh, that part's easy. I mean, I'm speaking for Henry, of
and
course.
I was only a rental, right? So I'm like, well, we're only have it for a few days, and already like we were kind of like smelling things. Or, like I wasn't feeling it. But how do you like? How are you guys? I mean, clearly you guys love it because you guys are now officially on the road,
Yes, and
right?
I promise it does not smell like septic in my
Right, right, right,
home.
right. So I imagine like you guys got that completely figured out. But like, you know, when you guys travel, are you guys like stationarily parked at a location for a period of time? Are you guys constantly moving? Like,
So
where
we
do you
we
call
try
yourself?
like we want to try like 3 4 weeks to stay in a spot and then we move. Henry only likes to drive about 250 miles or so, which is about 3 hours ish. We try to keep it around. Listen, this one. So when we first got on the road, we went with a smaller 36-foot travel trailer. Make sure we liked it. About 6 months in, Henry was like, "Oh yeah, let's get the bigger one." So
Yeah,
now we're in a 45-foot big guy. Like we're as big as a tractor trailer, like three
okay,
ACs, washer, dryer, like the whole nine. We have six slide outs. Like most people see that we have six and they're like, holy crap. Like it's big. It's a big one. So it 24,000 pounds, I think we are completely full. So it's a long day to drive, this. We're not going to be driving it, 7 8 hours at a clip. So we'll go about 250 miles. We usually like to stay for about 3 4 weeks at a time. Vegas kind of messed us up. We got to Vegas last summer,
yeah.
had convention, and it was time to leave. And I was like, I don't want to leave. So fast
It's
forward
cool that
six.
you had that option. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to leave, so let's stay here a few extra weeks.
Yep.
Like,
Exactly. I called the front desk. I'm like, is this site available? They had to move us a couple times within the campground, which was fine, but I just canceled the other reservations we had and we ended up staying in Vegas until January.
I see. I see.
for
Now, do you guys
February.
just roll in the RV, or do you guys have a smaller vehicle attached to it, kind of thing?
Yeah, so we have a fifth wheel. So this is the one like that latches into the back of the pickup. So
Uh-huh.
we have a 3500 dually truck that is our everyday driver
Got
essentially.
it. Got it. So,
So
how do you run this business like in an RV? I presume like you building the business and running the business from an RV, right? I think that's
yes,
super cool. So, like,
this is my office. This is my
how do
space.
you, yeah, I guess, like, how is that done? How do you maintain, come to think of it, I don't think it's too hard,
The
because,
hardest part, honestly, is not going and exploring as much as I would like to
yeah,
because I still have to be disciplined enough to be like, no, we got to work today. You know, right now I'm not traveling because I'm working on hitting these ranks, but my friends, family, whoever wants to come visit me, I'm never going to tell anybody no.
yeah.
But when they come visit, that's when I get out, I go do my content and I'm still working, but I would say the hardest part is just balancing being able to go out and enjoy everything and still keeping the business going.
But you still are doing it the way, I guess, in your terms, right?
Absolutely.
So how, I guess, like, my biggest question is, like, how how does this business, I guess, like, change your life? What's the biggest takeaway, I guess, doing this business, you know, for you? Maybe I'm thinking a part of me wants to say it just basically accommodates your lifestyle to the way that you want it, because, maybe tomorrow you might be like, all right, I'm done traveling. Henry, let's go get a house or something. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, we're planning on traveling. Right now the plan is we started traveling with three dogs. One passed away last year, but we still have two, and we're planning on traveling with them
Oh,
until their time. And after that, and at that point, because I'm still planning on a bunch of years, like fingers crossed. At that point, I'm planning on being a three-star platinum, and we want to live on cruise ships. We're going to downsize even further down to a cruise ship room and two suitcases and travel the world
wow.
on ships. Again, we can work anywhere with Wi-Fi, y'all. Like, if I could work from ships, like, I don't have to be here to do it. So that's the
Yeah.
next goal.
Yeah, I think I saw a documentary on or was it like an Instagram reel of this, like, very introverted um black woman writer, and she just kind of keeps to herself, but she opted and chose to live on a cruise ship. And I believe the line could be MSC or Norwegian, and I think the numbers were like 117,000 a year to, like, live that lifestyle of just living on a cruise ship.
Yeah. And that's public price,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, look at Virgin. We just hop around on Virgin for a month. What is it now? Because it just got up, right? $150 per person per day times 30 days times two. We could live on Virgin for 9 grand a month.
Mm, yeah,
Technically, you know what I mean? If we just continue to book out Virgin cruises, like the one of my future goals is I never want to have to get on a plane again. Like I want to travel the world via ship. Like I'm not about like the 10, 15 hour flights. Like that's not my life.
right.
I'd rather take a 20-day cruise from LA to Tokyo to get me there.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Well, I think there's a lot of people that envy your lifestyle. Just the fact that you're able to do that, and evolution is able to provide that.
I mean, without this company, there would be no way we would still own the deli at this point. I'm sure we would still be in New Hampshire. I mean, this is something, we had talked about hitting the road and living full time, in an RV, but we never thought it was going to be in the same 5 years we bought the deli. I mean, we only ended up owning the deli for 4 years. We doubled our money in 4 years and we pieced out. Like it was on to the next thing. One of the things I could say that this business has truly taught me. I already knew life was short and
Yeah.
that you only like, but life doesn't only have to be one lived in one place. Like the world is so big. Like I know we get comfy in our houses, but there's like so much to see. Like my window view is literally different every few weeks, right? But not only life is short and life shouldn't be lived in one place, but you don't necessarily have to spend your entire life doing the same thing. Like I can now do this business from anywhere. I can go RV. I could go live on a boat. I could go find a condo in Vegas and sit there for another couple years if we want to. Like it's literally your options are endless if you put your mind to it and make this happen.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it's not easy, guys. Like one thing I could say is I think one of the things that when we bring and for my new agents, especially on the line, right? All the new agents, if you put the effort in, you can also get here. But that effort doesn't come overnight. Like it or the results won't come overnight. Like some of us will see results quicker than others, but I can also tell you when I was getting my quick results, I was also literally working 16 hours behind my computer. You can ask Henry. I was literally in our first RV, like on the couch on that computer for 16 hours a day. We want to sit outside, computer comes outside with me, right? So it's not easy, but let me tell you, like, push past that wall. Like, this is what it could be. Like, that's my whole. Could I be sitting behind a desk in a car dealership right now, making 175 grand a year still? Absolutely. I could go out and get a job down the street right now if ever wanted to go back to the car business. Screw that. Like, screw that money. Like, it's not even worth it. I can make that paycheck here. I could build that paycheck here on my own time. Like, that's what's crazy to me. So. Don't let me go off on a tangent, Charles. I'll sit
No,
here
that's
as
good
well.
because that, we're closing in on this power hour here, but I do want to ask you, especially for a lot of brand new agents that are sitting here, and some agents that are just kind of stuck where they are, or just can't like get over a hump, or maybe they haven't even gotten started yet, right? Like, what would your biggest advice be for agents that are looking to get this thing going and potentially live a lifestyle like you?
Do not let your bad days weigh you down from the good that are going to come. Always think of the good days that are going to come if you just keep pushing forward. Like, it's, one thing we talk about at the leaders, like, we have bad days too, guys. Like, it's not always rainbows, butterflies, sunshines. Like, there are some crappy days. Sometimes there's some crappy weeks, right? Things happen, shit happens. I mean, it's whatever. But my, if you just take that and use it as fuel, turn that into like, okay, fine, life is life, and this is just my challenge. Like, let me get over this next challenge. Got to push through. You know what I mean? Like the month when we were closing on the deli, before, I have never been. I nauseous, so anxious, like not knowing, like the unknown. Here, guys, even not knowing how long it's going to take you to sell X amount of dollars in travel or get to X rank, whatever it is, your goals are, you don't know that time. But I can tell you, if you stay consistent and put your effort into this business every single day, without a doubt, you will get there. It's impossible not to get there if you don't, if you just put your effort into it. That's what I can say. But it does take effort. It's not going to just be thrown into your lap. That's what I would say to new agents.
Yeah, I mean, those are familiar words for me. I preach those words all the time. Don't expect things just there. Like, there's a difference between. I always talk about this. There's a difference between success and fortune, right? Fortune is oftentimes a lightning in a bottle. You win the lottery, or you get a huge settlement for something or anything, and it's just a huge lump sum that just falls on your lap, and you got lightning in a bottle. A lot of people don't know what to do with that, you know? So, like, success is different because success is always earned through the body of work, through disappointment, through rejection, through the trial and errors, you know, and the small little baby successes along the way that tally over time, and over time results into that level of success over time. And I think where a lot of people make the error in judgment is, in fact, what we just got done with an FC meeting. We were just actually talking a lot about that, about instant results, because our brains are so used to how we were trained. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how we were trained. We go in, we get a job, we clock in somewhere, and, we work exactly 8 hours, whether it be we worked harder or we minimalist worked, we still get paid the same, right? And then you do that 40 to 50 hours a week and you get the same paycheck over and over and over again. And that's the expectation that a lot of Americans, in my opinion, are used to and and live by. And one of the things that always really like resonated with me is that is a means oftentimes of survival. So no matter, like, let's say for instance you get a good job, right? Or a decent paying job that pays like what, $15 an hour, then your lifestyle is going to be equated to what you make a lot of the times. And so let's say you get a raise, or you get a better job and you get a pay bump of like, let's say $25 an hour. Then you get a slightly bigger apartment or a slightly bigger condo, or you get a little bit more groceries. But at the end of the day, you're generally typically capped, and that's what you're used to, and that's what you're. And so there's that.
And
There's
I don't like to be capped. I
right,
don't like to
and
be put in a box.
there's that person that just so gets used to trading time for their money,
Yep.
right? And sometimes, and I see this a lot, even people who make a lot of money, such as yourself, who made $175,000 a year in the car business. You make all the money in the world, but you're trapped for 10, 11 hours a day with commutes. And a lot of times you're so exhausted that you don't want to do any, you don't have the energy to do anything else. And that's
Come my day off in my I had Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays was dedicated to any type of appointments, grocery shopping, cleaning the house. Sundays, I did absolutely nothing. I just needed a day of nothing.
right. So, um, this is the first time for everybody to have actually a business that you can call your own. You have your own travel agency. That's wild. You have a business with the lowest overhead to owning your own business. This is my opinion. This is, in fact, this is fact. It is true. This is, because all of you guys are 1099, right? So at the end of the day, you can write off your taxes. Yeah, everything's a write-off. This is your own business that you can
By
call
the
your
way, when you live on the road, literally my life is a write-off.
guy.
I actually got $3,000 back from the government this year.
And so even in that regard, like, this is something like you're building, from the ground up. And when people have that same, like, okay, I'm trading time for money, um, you know, there's a different element into growing something a little bit bigger, and it may be front heavy because, like you said, you're used to working 10 10 hours a day, but then now you do this business, now you're doing 16 hours a day in the front heavy. But now you got to where you are, now you're probably doing maybe a fraction of that. And so
Well,
it's
no, I'm still going. I'll
you
I'll
get
slow down.
you're
I'll
running.
slow down to Charles Lee status at 3 star. Three
Okay,
star
sounds
double
good.
platinum is when I'll swoop down to
But
half.
there you go. So at least this gives a lot of perspective for everybody to get them into the right mind framing to understand how to pursue this business in the right way. You know, and look at where you are now. Just, with your goals on the horizon, with the lifestyle that you're able to live. It's just truly amazing. Um, Last words. Mike's on you. Any last words from the amazing, great Jessica Coco that gets to live a very freedom lifestyle?
It's not easy, y'all, but don't give up on yourself because I promise you the finish line is so much better than putting in 50, 60 hours or years of your life essentially into something that you didn't even have to show. Like the fact that I can pass this along to somebody, my business, like the money doesn't even stop. Just don't give up on yourself. Stop being discouraged and use that as your fuel. Use your discouragement and your bad days as your fuel to keep pushing yourself.
Amen to that. I know how that is. I did 9 years into Caesars Entertainment in the corporate world, and I sure as hell get got burnt out, and I was so glad to to leave that. So hopefully, Jessica's story has resonated with you guys, and hopefully, you guys could be in a position to make those significant changes for yourselves too. So, with that being said, that concludes our Power Hour. That was Jessica Coco. Can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Next one, we're gonna have another $1 million travel booker. So can't wait. Don't miss out on that one. So with that being said, have a blessed and wonderful week. I'll see you guys soon and on to the next one. Have a
Thank
good
you,
one, guys.
Charles.
God bless.